Welcome back, students, to the session on list. Today we shall understand the operations in connection with the list. Then we'll see different methods which are supported along with the slicing mechanism. In the last session, we understood the definition of a list. What is a list? List is like a string and it differs in terms of the storage of the items, that is the items or the elements. The items can be of different type. It could be a string type, it could be a character, single character type, or it could be a float type, it could be integer type, and so on. Apart that, we also understood how to access the list using indexing mechanism and also how to modify it. Modifying the list concept was understood with the help of what is called as mutable. We know that lists are mutable, that is they can be altered or modified, and that can be done by using the list on the left hand side, and by assigning a new value to the element it can be modified. And also we understood how to traverse a list, that is using a for loop mechanism, or for that matter even you can check whether a given item is present in the list using in keyword, that is the item in list, then it would return true or false, that is boolean value. So let us get started with the today's session on list operations. Now the operation, in the sense we have two operators which can be applied here. One is plus, another is the asterisk. The plus allows you to concatenate two lists. Now for example, I have list A equals to 1 2 3 and B equals 4 5 6. I want to join them. Concatenation also means joining. So I can join the two lists by using, let us say, a third list. I would say C equals A plus B, and then finally when I say print C, it would be the joined list. So here the meaning of this expression is A is a list plus B is a list, and automatically what it does is, the Python interpreter, it will convert C also into a list, and when I print this I would get what is called as the combined list of 1 2 3 4 5 6. So this is how the plus operation can be used, so whenever you want to join two different lists. And now the asterisk operator, the star, repeats a list given number of times. You can repeat a list. For example, let us say I have a 0 here, and 0 into 4, so it would multiply 4 times, so you get 4 times 0. Or I have 1 2 3 as a list, and if I say into 3 times, so the entire list of 1 2 3 would be multiplied 3 times. That would give you get 1 2 3 3 and 1 2 3 and so on. Now let us see what is the meaning of slicing a list. So what is, when I say slicing, I want a slice of it or only a sub part of it or substring of it. Now it's a very beautiful mechanism that is available in Python, wherein you can give the index, specify the index. Either you can specify from the beginning to end or in between, or you can skip the entire indexing also. So let us see what are the different methods to access a string by slicing, list by slicing. So if I say print T of 1 is to 3, then it would display from 0 1, and you know that the last item is index is 3, so it will be 3 minus 1. From the previous lecture you can refer it, how strings, lists are displayed when you use this indexing mechanism. So I would get 0 1 2, that is BC only as the two items in the output. So this is what is the output that you get as far as slicing is concerned, T of 1 is to 3. Or for that matter, if I say print T of nothing colon 4, that is I skip the first index and I only go with the second index colon 4 after colon, then I would get from the 0th item to the last item minus 1, that is third. So that would be around 0 1 2 3, the 4 items. So here in this case I would get something A, B, C and D. And also if I do the other way around, that is if I skip the last second index but give some value to the first part, say for example in this case 3 is to colon nothing, 3 colon nothing, then I would get from fourth element to the last element. So the output would be, that is 0 1 2 3 4, that is D E F 1 2 3 4 D E and F till the last element. So this is how the slicing works. So to summarize, if the first index is skipped, the slice starts at the beginning. If the second index is skipped, the slice goes to the end. If both the indices are skipped, then the slice is a copy of the whole list. That is, this is another example here. If I say T colon only, that is nothing on the either side of the index of that colon, then I would get the entire list here. Of course, a print statement is necessary here. This is just a demonstration. You can try it out all these methods of slicing. Now, apart from that, let us try to understand the concept of mutability. Now, in the last session, we also understood how a list can be modified. Now, let us see how we can modify more than one item using mutable, mutable method of slicing, using slice. Since lists are mutable, it is often useful to make a copy before performing the operations that mutilates or alters the list. A slice operator on the left hand side of an assignment can update multiple items. For example, let us say I want to update this B and C only. Then my slice would be T of 1 is to 3, that is 3 minus 1 is 2, equals the new item which I want to add. So for example, if I write it something like this, T of 1 is to 3 equals x comma y, then this x and y would overwrite the value of B and C. And when I print this new value, I would get something like this: AXY as the new list or new mutated list, that is the altered list. This is how you can make use of this slicing in terms of mutation. Now let us move to the next concept, and that is about the methods. Now what are the different methods that we have as far as lists are concerned? Now one is first method is the append. That is, you can append a new element to the end of the list. Only a single element can be added to the end of the list. How do I do this? Let us, for example, assume that T equals ABC is the list. Now if I say T dot append of D, then it would append D to T. That is, T dot append of D, it would append D to the list. And if I print this T, then I would get something like this: A, B, C and D. So this is how the append works. And on the similar lines, I have extend also. That is, if I have more than one element to be added to the list, then I can create another list and then extend that list entirely to this T1 without altering the T2. That is, T2 is unmodified, and then I can join this T2 with T1. So how do I do this? T1 dot extend. That is, I can say T1 dot extend of bracket T2. So what it does is it will join this T2 to T1 and without disturbing T2. So T1 will become a bigger list, and when I say T1, print T1, I would get ABC plus the extended element, that is D and E. Now we can go to the editor and check it out how this really happens with the help of the Python code. Let's see the demo of this slicing. That is, T is a list with A, B, C, D, E, and let us slice it from the second element to the third element, 3 minus 1. So I would get a slice from the second element, that is B and C would be displayed here. Or for that matter, if I skip the first part and go with the next part as 4, and then if I slice this, I would get something like from the 0th element till the 4th element, that is A, B, C, D, 4 minus 1. And on the same lines, if I say nothing here, T nothing colon nothing, then I would get the entire list here, that is A, B, C, D, E. So this is how the slicing works. Apart from that, of course, let us try to append it and see what happens here. Now if I say T dot append, now let us say T dot append of F. I want to add F to this, and then finally print this. I would get A, B, C, D, E and F appended to the list. Or for that matter, if I want to extend it, then instead of append, I would just change this to extend with more than. Let us do the same thing what is done in the slides. So let us make this as T1 and let us call this as T2, and T2 equals another list of, let us say, G H. Now we need to extend, let us say T1, we want to extend T1 dot extend to T2. Now when I do this and I print the T1, I should get the new extended list into T1 without T2 getting altered. So if I print this, I would get the entire list as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. A, B, C, D, E, not F, of course, G, H, I is added there. And if I see T2 only, so T2 is unaltered, you can check it out. T2 is not disturbed, so G, H, I, T2 is not disturbed. Or for that matter, if I by mistake if I say T1 dot append more than one item, then I would get an error which says that it cannot allow you to append more than one item. But whenever you have more than one item, you can always prefer the extend mechanism. So let us go back to the discussion. Now this is the next method that we are going to make use of, sorting a list. Now you must be wondering, we need to write a sort algorithm like we wrote in case of C program. We had different algorithms there, selection sort, bubble sort, but absolutely no such algorithm will be written here. Whenever we have a list here, T equal to this, let us say this is randomly arranged and I want to make them into proper order, let us say chronological order or in alphabetical order, then I can just say T dot sort and automatically it does for you. So this is a very beautiful mechanism that is available using this method called as T dot sort. And if I print this T dot sort and when I print T, I would get a sorted values from that list. That is, all the items would be sorted in the order A, B, C, D, E as far as their ASCII values are concerned. So this is how the sort works. So you can make use of this sorting mechanism as well. And then there is one important note that you need to understand. Most list methods are void. They modify the list and return none. So you need to understand that most of the times, of course, there are exceptions also. So whenever there are exceptions, we will discuss, but most of the time they return nothing. They do not return any value. That is the meaning of void there. So you know that whenever a function is void, return is void, it means it is returns nothing. Now the next concept of the list with respect to list is the how do I delete an item using a method called as different methods, of course, in fact. Now depending on the situation, I can make use of different methods of deleting. For example, let us say I want to delete an item with an index, and as well as I want to know which item I have deleted. So I can make use of a pop method. Now for example, how do I make use of this on this list? Let us say I have said this list as T equals ABC and I want to say T dot pop of 1. That means I am using index which is 0, 1. So B item I want to delete and I want to also know which item I have deleted. So I can store it in X. So when I say X equals T dot pop of 1, so this method is returning a value. It is not a void method as it was said earlier. So there are some exceptions. So pop is one of them. So it returns the item that is deleted into X. So when I say print T, then it would print only the items except that item which is there at 1, that is B is not printed. So A and C is printed. Or for that matter, if I say print X, then it would print the value B which was deleted. So you can make use of this method whenever you want the item to be understood or to be used in the program as far as by the name of the item. So you can make use of this mechanism to understand which item was deleted using a pop mechanism and with the index. So pop modifies the list and returns the element that was removed. If an index is not provided, it deletes and returns the last element. So it is also modifying, that is you have understood, because you can see that B is not there in this. Now if the item to be removed is to be, let us say for example, you are not interested not knowing the desired, that is removed is not desired, that is not to be returned, then the del operator can be used. That is, I don't want to know which item is deleted, and I can just say delete that item with a index. So I would write it as T equal to so and so. So delete of T bracket 1, then it would delete this item, and when I print subsequently I would get only AC. So this is how you can make use of the delete operation as far as this method is concerned, del. Or for example, I want to remove an item which is that is I know the item but I don't know the index, then I can do it by using its name. If the element to be removed is known but not the index, remove can be used. Of course, we'll be seeing a demo of this at the same time. So t equals abc, and if I say t dot remove of b, because I know b but I don't know its index, it's a big list, let us say, I can just say t dot remove of that b. Then again it works in the similar manner. The working mechanism is same. So this is how it works. Again, you should know that delete and remove do not return any value, so it is return value from remove is none. So let us go and see how we can do this using the code in the Python editor. Let's see the first method, that is sorting. If I just have t dot sort on this t, that is t c d e a b, which is not properly arranged or not sorted, then if I say t dot sort in print of t, then what happens? So let us execute this. You can see here a b c d e is well sorted. So this is how the sort works. Or now further I want to apply the other mechanism, that is I want to pop the item. Let us say x equals let us comment this. So here I have given t dot pop of 2 0 1 2, so e element will be deleted and I would be getting a list without e, and similarly I want to see what is the element deleted using x. So let us execute this. I would get c d and so on, because I have not sorted this, but if you can sort it then apply it, even that is acceptable. So here e is not shown here, so e is removed. So this is used when you want to return an element which is you want to specify it and accept it from that pop. So apart from that, of course, you can make use of the other mechanisms, that is deleting an item. So for example, if I say d, now let us use this del on del or delete on t of 3 0 1 2 3. Now if I execute this, what do I get here is 0 1 2 3, a is removed and you get the remaining list as c d e and b. Or for that matter, I can make use of a remove. So if I use a remove, then I can try to go by its name itself. Let us say t dot remove, and I want to remove the element which is, let us say, b here. So I can specify b here, and then if I print it, then I would get the item removed b, that is b is removed and the remaining items are displayed. So this is how the remove works. So all these three different mechanisms, different alternatives or the methods which are available as far as these list operation methods are concerned, to delete the item from the list can be used. Now with this note, let us go back to the slides here. Even you can delete the items using the slicing mechanism. For example, if I say delete bracket t of bracket 1:5, then I can delete all the items which are from the 1 to 5. Similarly, you can make use of the slicing mechanisms while deleting the items here. This note, let us try to go through these questions, but you may try to find out the answers before coming for the next session. So these are the two programs, that is program to accept a list and modify it by removing the first and the last elements, and then first print those deleted items and then print the rest of the list. This is first program. And then the second program is modified by removing the first and last elements and then copy it into the another list and print the new list. So these two programs, you can give it a try so that we can discuss it in the next session. So with this note, we'll end the session here. Thank you and have a good day and a safe day.